Gazing across the central London skyline in England, one building may stand out more than the others. Shaped like a curved box, 20 Fenchurch Street has been nicknamed the Walkie Talkie due to its design, and this building was riddled with problems, especially when it came to a very hot and very unwanted ability to melt objects below it. Today, we're going to examine this amazing skyscraper, from how it was designed and built, to the problems along the way, to the features such as the Sky Garden within, and to how it was sold for over $1 billion. So let's get started. Named after the road it's located on, 20 Fenchurch Street has been around since 1968. The original building was designed by architect William H. Rogers and built by what would later be called Land Securities. The first office block building had 25 stories and measured 299 feet. It was known for its distinctive Lego block-esque roof. One of the upper levels was even used for the TV series Party Animals in 2007. Fun fact, this production was the first major role for future Doctor Who, Matt Smith. Only a year after the series aired, demolition on the skyscraper was underway. Plans to change the building had been going on for a while. According to reports, in 2005, the aim was to have the new version measure 722 feet. However, there were concerns it might block views of St. Paul's Cathedral. So, in the end, 20 Fenchurch would measure 525 feet with 37 stories. The Walkie Talkie was designed by Uruguayan architect Rafael Viñoly. He and his company have designed buildings all over the world, including 432 Park Avenue in Manhattan, New York, which reportedly cost $1.25 billion to construct. In 2010, the new 20 Fenchurch Street building was ready to begin construction. The project was a joint venture between Land Securities and Canary Wharf Group. Land Securities sold the site into the partnership for a reported £90.2 million, or $124 million. At the time, it was expected that construction costs would be around £500 million, or $687 million. Later estimates believe the cost came to at least £200 million, or $275 million. Kilnbridge was contracted to undertake the complete builder's work package. The value of their contract amounted to £1.95 million, around $2.7 million. By 2014, the office block was complete. On top of the Sky Garden, which we'll get into later, the building holds 32 floors of office space. But the finished product wasn't to everyone's taste. While the building is unique, the curved box look was off-putting to some. In fact, the 2015 Carbuncle Cup, which highlights the ugliest building in the UK, was awarded to 20 Fenchurch Street. But it wasn't all smooth sailing for the Walkie Talkie. In fact, during 2013, the building became a heat ray and terrorized the citizens of London. Martin Lindsay left his Jaguar XJ, a car that cost up to $155,000 at the time, parked opposite 20 Fenchurch. 1 hour later, he returned to his prize car, only to find out that the heat reflected from the Walkie Talkie had warped the wing mirror, the plastic panels on the side, and the Jaguar badge. Plus, there was a lovely burnt plastic smell. For compensation, the building owners reportedly gave Lindsay £946, or $1,300. Lindsay wasn't the only car owner to experience this. Numerous people with all sorts of vehicles experienced a little melting. Some people even fried an egg in the reflected heat. For 2 hours a day, due to its unusual shape, the building acted as a concave mirror and focused the sunlight towards the ground. Some reports state the temperature in certain spots was as high as 110 degrees Celsius, around 230 Fahrenheit. The building was then amazingly nicknamed the Walkie Scorchy for a time. To fix the problem, a temporary sunshade net was added to cover the dangerous glass windows. The developers then installed the more permanent Brise Soleil at the cost of £10 million, around $13.7 million. In 2015, another problem came to bite the developers. The Walkie Talkie was criticized for creating a wind tunnel in the surrounding area. There were reports that people had been knocked off their feet and even signs had fallen from buildings. This side effect isn't limited to Fenchurch. Numerous cities across the world have areas that act as wind tunnels now due to the rise in skyscrapers being created. Since we mentioned it earlier, one of the crowning features of the building is the Sky Garden. In fact, it was the main reason the design of the Walkie Talkie was even approved by the London authorities. Spread across floors 35, 36, and 37, the garden was designed by landscape company Gillespie's. It's touted as the highest public garden in the capital. The view from up there provides 360-degree sights of London. Entry to the garden is free for the public for 1 hour, up until 6 p.m. on the weekdays and 9 p.m. on weekends. After those times, the only way to access the Sky Garden is if you're there for the restaurants or bars. More on those shortly. According to the original plans for the area, the Sky Garden was meant to be a park and contain a lot more plant life. This, of course, drew criticism when it opened up. At the time, the area was even compared to a departure lounge of an airport by critics. Beyond just looking at the skyline, the Sky Garden holds several events to entice guests. Firstly, we have morning yoga. Available only on the weekend, classes start at 8:30 a.m. and run for 1 hour. The cost per class is £20 or $28. There's also music nights. On Thursday and Friday nights, live bands will be performing in the Sky Garden. From Monday to Wednesday and Saturday, DJs will be performing. Ticket prices start from £25, around $34, and go up to £65 or $89. The prices vary depending on which combination you order. As we alluded to, the Sky Garden also has 2 restaurants for people to enjoy. Firstly, out of the ones still in the Sky Garden, there's the Darwin Brasserie. Offering a range of British cuisine, Darwin has a 3-course brunch menu that goes up to £52.50 or $72 per person, while the priciest dish on their a la carte menu is the 12-ounce ribeye steak at £42.50 or $58. The other place to eat is Fenchurch Restaurant. Headed by Chef Michael Carr, the menu focuses on seasonal dishes. The priciest dish on their a la carte menu is the 60-day aged beef fillet at £46 or $63. You can even wash that down with a bottle of Cru Cros d'Ambonnet from 1998 at the cost of a whopping £4,400, nearly $6,050. But if you want to go even fancier, there's a Viñoly room. Depending on the time and day, the minimum spend for the room can be up to £2,250, around $3,093. One of the bars is the Sky Pod Bar, that also provides light meals on top of beverages. They offer 3 sharing bites that collectively cost £29.50 or $41. The City Garden Bar also serves the same menu. Lastly, we have Fenchurch Terrace. Located in a quieter area, the bar serves drinks and small meals as well. Cocktails, such as an old-fashioned, are £15 or $21, while the seafood sharing platter costs £29.50, around $41. Back in 2016, in the space of 6 months, Land Securities, one of Fenchurch's owners, recorded a loss of value of £95 million, around $131 million. This effect was attributed to the UK's EU referendum result, also known as Brexit. So, with that, they began looking for a new owner for the Walkie Talkie. In 2017, the Hong Kong-based food company Lee Kum Kee Group purchased the property for a record £1.3 billion, around $1.7 billion at the time. This was the most money paid for a single office building in the UK. The previous record was in 2014 when the Qatar Investment Authority paid £1.17 billion, around $1.5 billion, for the HSBC Tower. Final fact finish: 20 Fenchurch Street could lose its title as the most expensive office block sold in London. In April 2021, news broke that the Skyscraper 100 Bishopsgate is set to be sold off by the majority owner, the Canadian asset firm Brookfield. According to reports, they're looking at selling it for £1.8 billion, around $2.47 billion. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.